Hello, and welcome to a little video about solving linear equations. When I think about solving linear equations, I think about unwrapping a present. In order to get to a present, we need to take off the wrapping paper, maybe open a box, sometimes there's tissue paper in there, and then we get our present. Solving an equation is like unwrapping a present, although our present is the variable we're looking for. In number 1, the variable is x. Now, x is attached to -3, which is attached to a positive 10. I want to take away what's furthest away from x first. That way I can get to the middle, which is my present. 10 is the furthest away from x, so let's deal with that. In order to remove 10 from the same side that x is on, so from the right, I'm going to have to perform an opposite operation. 10 is a positive number. The opposite of a positive is a negative. A negative is kind of like subtracting. Well, it's pretty much is subtracting. So what we're going to do on both sides is we're going to subtract 10. Accidentally selected a highlighter. There we go. Now, why am I subtracting 10? Well, take a look at the right side. What is 10 minus 10? It's 0. 0 means nothing. So 10 no longer exists on the right side. Fantastic. We're one step closer to getting x by itself. On the right side, we have a -3x remaining. Be careful and make sure that negative comes along. It's very easy to lose the negative along the way. On the left side, 37 minus 10 is 27. Now, what's very easy and tempting to do next is to add 3 to both sides. However, that's going to be incorrect. There is no symbol in between -3 and x. That means it's -3 times x. The opposite of multiplication is division, so let's go ahead and divide both sides by -3. Why are we dividing by -3? Well, if you take a look at the right side, -3 divided by -3 is +1, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a positive 1x. Now, according to the rules of mathematics, we do not need to write a positive 1 in front of x. We can just have x be x. 27 divided by -3 is -9. Oh, I don't like how that looks. Let's undo that. There we go. Beautimous. Let's try another one. Once again, I like to start by drawing a line down the middle. I'm solving for x. X is attached to -2, which is attached to positive 18. Let's start with the 18. 18 is positive, so in order to get rid of it, we need to have a negative, which means we're going to subtract -18 minus 18. On the left, 52 minus 18 is 34. On the right, the 18 and -18 cancel because 18 minus 18 is 0, and all we're left with is a -2x. To finish this up, we're going to divide both sides by -2 because -2x is -2 times x. On the left side, 34 divided by -2 is -17, and on the right, we're left with x because -2 divided by -2 is +1. Let's add some steps to this. Number 3. Ooh, scooch over, buddy. There we go. So number 3 is a little different. Hopefully you can also tell that it has x's on both sides, so variables on both sides, and constants, so numbers without variables on both sides. We have 4 ways of starting this problem. We can start by moving the 12x to the right, or the -4 to the right, or we could move the 10x to the left, or the +6 to the left. It really doesn't matter. Now, my favorite way to solve these types of problems is to move the variables first, and specifically, I like to move the smaller variable to the side of the larger variable because then I end up with positive variables. It really doesn't matter how you start this, so I'm going to go with my favorite way. Okay, since 10x is smaller than 12x, I'm going to move it to the left by subtracting, because 10x's minus 10x's is 0x's. There's no more x's on the right side. Perfect. All we have left on the right is positive 6. On the left, 12x's minus 10x's is 2x's, and we didn't do anything to the minus 4, so it's still there. Now, since we brought the x's to the left, we're going to have to bring our regular numbers, our constants, to the right. We have a minus 4 on the left side, which means we're going to have to add 4 to both sides in order to undo that. On the left side, all we have remaining is 2x. And on the right, 6 plus 4 is 10. And for our last step, we're going to divide both sides by positive 2. Positive 2 divided by positive 2 is 1, which is exactly what we're looking for. So we've got x equals 10 divided by 2 is 5. Now don't freak out. I know there's fractions. We're going to be okay. Let's draw a line down the middle. 3 over 2x is larger than 1x because 3 over 2 is 1.5. So I'm going ahead and I'm going to subtract x from both sides to get started. 1.5 minus 1 is 1/2. So I'm left with 1/2 x minus 19 equals, the x's cancel, 11. Since I moved my x's to the left, I need to move my constants to the right. I have a minus 19 on the left, therefore I'm going to add 19 to both sides. Negative 19 plus 19 is 0, so all I have left on the left is 1/2 x, and that equals 30. I know I said it's going to be okay with fractions, and here's why. Fractions are actually division. It's just we didn't perform long division and get it into a decimal form. So we undo division with multiplication. The way we'll do this is by multiplying both sides of the equation by the reciprocal of our fraction. What that means is our fraction flipped upside down. This is why it works. On the left side, when we multiply 2 over 1 times 1 over 2, what we can do is reduce the fraction. When there's the same number on top and bottom of a multiplication problem involving fractions, we can cross them off. We can cancel them out. So there's 2's on top and bottom and 1's on top and bottom. What canceling out in multiplication and division means is it becomes 1. Just like in adding and subtracting, canceling out means it becomes 0. So we have x left over on the left side. On the right, you could use your calculator to do 30 times 2 over 1, or this is how I did it in my head, 30 times 2 is 60 divided by 1 is 60. All right, let's do a couple more fractions. These are just 2 steps, so they're a little shorter, but we're still practicing our fractions. To start this off, I'm going to go ahead and add 7 to both sides. On the left side, negative 7 plus 7 cancel. All I have left over is 2 over 3x, and it equals 25 plus 7 is 32. Now let's practice what we did with the fraction on the other side, on number 4. We're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So I'm going to make my fraction 3 over 2 instead of 2 over 3. On the left side, 3's cancel, 2's cancel. I have x left over. Now it says 32 times 3 over 2. Once again, this can go straight into your calculator. The way I did it in my head, 32 times 3 is 96, divided by 2 is 48. Let's give fractions another chance. I'm going to draw a line down the middle. I'm going to start this off by adding 8 to both sides to undo that minus 8. On the left side, I have 5 over 3x remaining. On the right, 32 plus 8 gives me 40. Let's practice getting rid of fractions by multiplying both sides by a reciprocal, 3 over 5. Oh, that's an ugly 5. I'm going to draw that again. There we go. Okay. On the left, 3's cancel, 5's cancel. I'm left with 1x. On the right, you can do 40 times 3 over 5 in your calculator, or you can think about it like I did. 40 times 3 is 120, divided by 5 is 24. There we go. Let's take a look at number 7. Number 7 has a few more steps. Here, we have to start off with something completely different, and that's taking care of those parentheses. When there's a number attached to parentheses, or a variable, we have to use the distributive property, which means we're going to do some multiplying. Here we go. I'm going to take this negative 5 and multiply it by negative 2m. Negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10, and m stays m. Next, I'm going to do negative 5 times negative 9, which is positive 45. I didn't have to do anything to the right side, so it stays the way it was. Since I'm controlling this video, I'm going to do my favorite way. I'm going to start by subtracting 8m from both sides, because that's the smaller m. On the right, they cancel. Perfect. On the left, 10m's minus 8m's is 2m's plus 45 equals negative 7. Be very careful. Don't lose that negative. It's so easy to lose it. I don't want that color. I wanted this one. Yay. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 45 from both sides because I had a plus 45. The reason I'm choosing 45 is because I'm still trying to unwrap the present. I'm trying to get everything away from the letter M. The 45's cancel on the left side, and I'm left with 2m. Negative 7 minus 45 is negative 52. And we get to finish up this problem by dividing both sides by 2. On the left side, we're just left with 1m, because 2 divided by 2 is 1. And on the right, negative 52 divided by 2 is negative 26. No, I want pink. Yay, pink. Alright, let's try one last one, number 8. Start by drawing that line down the middle. Oh, I wanted blue. Blue. Oh, I'm crazy. Why does it have to be those colors? I don't know. Because it'll be pretty. There we go. Okay, let's start by distributing the negative 2. Negative 2 times... Oh, what just happened? Okay, negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. And because there's an m there, we're still going to have an m. So we have positive 8m. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. And the other side stays the way it is, 6m minus 10. It's the last problem. Let's do it not my favorite way. Let's start with something else. Let's start by, I don't know, adding 10 to both sides. That looks like a fun way to start. I'm going to add 10 to both sides because I'm subtracting 10. So to undo that, I add 10. They cancel on the right, which is perfect. That was the point. On the left, I have 8m left over plus 16. On the right, just 6m. Because I moved my constants to the left, I got to move my letters to the right, my variables. Which means I'm going to subtract 8m from both sides because I had a positive 8m. Let's cancel these out because 8m minus 8m is 0. I'm left with positive 16 equals 6m's minus 8m's is negative 2m's. And I finish this up by dividing both sides by negative 2. On the right side, the negative 2's reduced to 1. And on the left, 16 divided by negative 2 is negative 8. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know or whoever's helping you out with this. Have a wonderful rest of whatever day it is for you. Bye!